Hello, everybody. Another installment of Billboard Comics. I am here at Comics again. He's having another dollar sale and a 20% off package sale. So I'm really excited about this. I really like Mark. He's a really good guy.
Oh, it's Fred Lindsay? Yeah, it really is Fred Lindsay. I will say I have not read it. Find out. Wales. Such a cool cover. Unfortunately, it's all banged up. Looks just like it. On a good day.
So as you can see, I got a lot of books at the thing. It's kind of funny. I think a couple weeks ago or a week or two ago, he had another dollar bin sale, and I went there as soon as it opened. And there's only 3 boxes of dollar bins, and most of them were like, you know, overstock of stuff that he had on the shelves recent new books, or you know, like more common books and stuff. It is stuff that I didn't really collect. So I thought, like, okay, well, he's having another one. He says he has a couple books. He advertises having a couple dollar bins out. I thought I was going to have the same 3 out that I had before, so I didn't really make a priority of getting there early and getting in there on time. And it is a mistake because he had awesome books. Luckily, I like crappy books, so there's a lot of books for me there that nobody else wanted. So, yay, crappy books. Um, I mean, well, I shouldn't say that. Every book has its own special value, and every book is awesome in its own way. And it's kind of bad to do that, to think of it that way. Um, but uh, also, lucky I got there too because there's a local guy near us called Street Side Anthony, um, who is a local reseller. I think he works out of his house. I asked where he was, and he wouldn't tell me because I made a joke about like, "Wow, I'm glad I got these stuff before Anthony comes in." Oh, hi, Anthony! I didn't see you there. I thought it was funny. I apologize if I offended him. If you're watching this, I doubt that you are, but if you are, I'm sorry. But he usually comes into these sales and at like some point in the sale and then buys the entire stock. So you got to get there while the getting's good, which is why I usually go there as soon as the store opens, to try to get my stuff in there. Good point for you. If there's any like dollar sales, dollar bin sales within like the greater New York metropolitan area and the surrounding suburbs, go there first, get there first, get your books. Um, but so I apologize if I offended them, but you know, it's not untrue. If I got there like a little bit later, I might not have any dollar books, and for me making my special trip there just to get dollar books and not have any, it kind of discouraging. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But let's go and just show you what I got. I got about 141 books. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to go through this as quickly as possible because it's already pretty late here, and I'm sure my wife and daughter would like to go to bed at some point. Um, so let me go through and show you what I got. Now these are really like crispy, minty fresh. Uh, some of them are, some of them aren't, but but they all like are books that you either wanted to collect or fill holes in the collection. So I am happy with them. I'm happy, Pappy. I'm happy as clam. First off, Batman Eternal 51 and 52. I have almost a complete set of this. I think I'm missing one or two, but you know that'll come in. We have Comic Man. Each one of these Comic Man bags has 2 comic books in it. Yeah, so I'm hoping I have a full set. That bag had 1 and 2. Let's see. This has 3 and 4. and 5 and 6. So I have got the complete set of it, which is good. I like incomplete sets. I'm gonna try like if you've I've already seen it, I'm trying to get like a symbol up there whenever I complete a set. Um, just a little, I'm getting better on doing on the back end of doing this stuff, so I'm gonna show it off to you now. Um, so the reason why this is so special, it's like early artwork by Kelly Jones, um, and it's pretty good. It's of course not quite how he used to be, but it's still look at the use of black on that one. But this was written by Billy Mumy, and second time in 2 days, I did a video, probably saw yesterday, uh, saying about how like Billy Mumy did a show with Peter David in my Peter David video. This one he was partnered with Miguel Ferrer. Miguel Ferrer, I believe, is the son of Jose Ferrer and Rosemary Clooney. And if you know who those people are, you're probably older than I am. I know because I just my parents are big into that kind of era of music, so I know "Come on to my house, to my house." I don't know if you ever heard that song, but that's Rosemary Clooney. Um, Jose Ferrer is a very respected actor from the 50s, 40s, and 50s. Um, so they came together, had a kid, Miguel Ferrer, and he was in RoboCop. He was this smarmy. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. Um, he was in like also I think is it Crossing the Delancey or Crossing Jordan? Crossing Jordan, I think it was like where he played like the boss of a um, um, Orchard, and I think who Joe Hennessy was in it. One of my mother's favorite things. He was also in Twin Peaks too, um, which most more people my age would probably know him from. But he's one of my favorite actors, and he passed way too young. He's also like the cousin of George Clooney. You know, the guy from the Nespresso commercials. I think he also does a couple movies too. But yeah, two famous guys. And Billy Mumy, of course, was from Lost in Space. He was the kid in that one. So I've always wanted to pick this up, and now I have it all in one thing for probably lesser than I'd get a trade paperback for. Next up, Conan the King number 23. I'm trying to collect the Conan thing. Another mini series that I wanted to do. Only got the first 2 issues though. It's Dakota North Investigations, number 1 and number 2. This is the one that came out when I was a kid, and I didn't pick it up at the time because I was a ninny. But now I have at least the first 2, so it's a good start to gain the rest of the series. Next up, DP7 New Universe. They had a bunch of new universes in the actual dollar bins, and that's good because I'm trying to collect them too. Like I said, nobody wants them. They're not clickable, they're not valuable, but I want to get the whole set of them. Maybe do a video segment on them or a review of them or whatever. But I got number 16, number 19, and number 21. And this, ladies and gentlemen, completes the set of DP7 for me. I got E-Man, the first series, number 19. I'm trying to get this. I got this a couple times when I was a kid. I saw a couple of them, like when my friends had them or an older adult. It's kind of a pretty cool parody thing. Art by Joe Staton, who you might know from his work on Green Lantern during the 80s. All right. And let's talk about another set we have here, which is cool. Empire. This is Mark Waid and Barry Kitson. It's kind of like basically a tale of what would happen if a Doctor Doom-like figure took over the world. If that sounds familiar to you, maybe you've been in the comic store in last couple days. But you could read it here first. Yet another series that I really wanted to pick up and read. I missed it when it first came out, and now I got the entire set. 7 books, all for less than you probably pay for the trade paperback of it. That's what I love about dollar sales. All right. We also have Green Lantern. They had random like 1980s Bronze Age books in there, and this is one that I need. I don't have a lot of Green Lanterns, not as much as I should, uh, but I do need that one. All right, let's see, where are we? Okay, next up is Hero Alliance. Now, I got a copy of Hero Alliance, End of the Golden Age #1, from my local comic shop when it first came out, and I never got any other issue of it since then. I like the concept, I like the characters, I like stuff like this. I just never was able to find it. But today I found two. Okay, so we have um, two series of it actually. Hero Alliance #3, #4, #5, and just to let you know, this is for sophisticated readers. So if you're getting any purient interest out of seeing that cover, if you think I'm getting that, I'm not, because I'm a sophisticated reader. And #6. And I also got from the End of Golden Age #3. Next up, we have Kickers Inc. I don't know if this completes the series. I might be one down. I got #3, #4, and #8. Next up is a big bulk kind of deal. So, in one of the boxes, like the what do I call it, boxes, I got a couple of Marvel Tales. I've been had like kind of like a adverse relationship. I used to get every so often Marvel Tales when I was a kid, um, because it had old Spider-Man stories, and so I could see the stories that came out 10 years before I was born. Um, but I didn't keep any of them as I went along. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I threw them away or somebody cheated me out of them. Um, but he had a whole bunch of them in the dollar bin, so I got a whole chunk of them. So I'll try to go through them as quickly as possible. 87. It's a little banged up. I can see that, but you know what? It's good enough for me. Then 164, 165, 166, 171, 173, 174. And it's weird because I have some of these books actually in my collection, like the originals. Um, and I got like the good thing about being collecting so long, you're able to buy them for like $20 or $30 at the like when they first like back at that time, and just watch them like as people come in and movies come be made about the character, and they just keep on going up and going up and going up. Um, that's a little humble brag, and it's a little bit gloating, so I apologize for that. Let's see here. 175, 176, 181, 183, 184, 185, 186, 189. And then around this time, it moved from being a reprint of the actual Amazing Spider-Man title into reprinting tales from the um, Marvel Team Up thing. I guess they kind of like cycled through the Amazing Spider-Man a couple times by this point, and are like those last couple I think were adapted like the Spider-Man stories from the annuals. So kind of like, okay, well, instead of going through again and try to go back and try to catch up again, let's move on to a different title. So first is 194, 195, 196 with Miss Marvel back in her original costume, 197, and I think this is John Byrne's artwork. That's always good. 199, and this is reprints one of my first uh, issues of Marvel Team Up that I bought. I read it so much that it actually fell apart, and I had to actually staple it on here, which is a full pop. But I was 13. What did I know? On here, it's Daredevil, and oh, that bad guy looks like a little bit like Jim Shooter. I'm sure that's just coincidence. Art by Sal Buscema and Dave Hunt, writing by Bill Mantlo. It faces Spider-Man and Daredevil going up against Electro and the Blizzard. I always love that panel. I talked briefly about how I'm a big fan of Sal Buscema. He was Marvel when I was a kid growing up. He was everywhere. He was, like I said, Marvel Team Up. He was in Avengers. He was in Captain America. He was in Hulk. He was in Spectacular Spider-Man. He filled in for Thor after like Walt Simonson drew back from being an artist there. So he's done a lot of great stuff, but he seems to like not really get as big play as some of the other guys. I thought he was just a perfect artist, and I'll stand by that and stand behind that and stand next to it. Probably stand in front of it too if I need to. Number 202 and number 208 or 206. 206. Yeah, my eyes are a little wonky, but yeah, got a great big old stack of those. So that's good. And now another thing I was like happy to see in there. Let me go through this and just got a complete set of Marvel Universe Deluxe Edition. Number one, my database said I had number one, but I figure like I'll just get another number one because why not? Number two, number three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and those are all covers by John Byrne. I thought kind of funny because it's like they're John Byrne up to that, and then they move over to different artists. Actually, might be just one artist. Ron Friends. He did this one, number 11. I mean number 12. Wait a minute, did I? Number 13. I see. Number 14. Number 15. Number 16. Number 17. Number 18. Number 19. Number 20. To finish my thought from earlier, I love the kind of like parallel between that and Who's Who, the first series. For Who's Who first series, you had George Perez doing the artwork. And George Perez does artwork with a lot of characters on it excellently. He could like make them as small as like a tiny little ant, but you could still make out the costume and the expression and everything on that. And he's a great at doing placement and having them over here and doing stuff like this, and where it's doing something that's kind of funny, but doesn't distract from the main focus of the stuff. Um, so like he was one of the best, but like I guess I don't know if he was doing Crisis at the same time or what. He kind of like dropped off a little bit, and they had like Paris Cullins, another good artist. He was on Blue Beetle and Blue Devil, um, fill in, and then they had Eduardo Barreto fill in, and then George Perez came back for a little bit, and then he went away, and then they had um, who else? They had John Byrne, speaking of which, came over and did the Superman one. That's when he took over Superman. I think that's why he left the doing the covers for Masters Universe, because that's when he left to revamp Superman over at DC, and Marvel said, "Well, don't let the door hit you on the tuchus there, buddy." Um, but it's kind of like if covers were like a big part of these, and so like if you're buying covers for John Byrne, then all of a sudden you have Ron Friends, who was a great artist, another underrated artist, very good draftsman, gets the story, a great storyteller, um, but you know he's not John Byrne, so that'd be kind of like a shock to the system, if you will. Next up, another new universe, Cyforce number 3, number 4, and number 20. Funny how that works. Now we have another big clump O comics from a one that I was wanting to pick up for a long time. And I got them in relatively good condition. It's not exactly some better than others, but still for the price I'm paying for them. It's Rom, the Space Knight. So I got a lot from 43 on 43, 45, 50 in a plastic bag, 54, 55, 56, and that looks like a John Byrne cover. Oh, it probably is, because he's facing off like the next one. 57, that's definitely a John Byrne cover. Looks like this is 58. It's Jackson Geiss. 59. 60. The reason why I'm getting it wrong because I love the dire wraiths. So like they're aliens that come down. They have barbed tongues, and they get you in the back of the neck with it. You die, but they take over your identity. They get like there's like that's a really good concept. Um, kind of like a different version of the whole you know invasion of the body snatchers kind of thing. 61. 62, a Mike Zeck cover. 63. 64. 65. 66. 67. 68. That's a Bill Sienkiewicz cover. 69. I got two 69s. This is a newsstand, and this is a direct version. Did the same thing with number 70. You have the newsstand and direct. It's $1. Why not take a flyer on it? I don't know if it makes a difference. A lot of people like collecting that kind of stuff. Number 71. Number 72. Number 73. It's a little A little mangled. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see here. This looks like another burn cover. Number 74. And the final issue, number 75. And in addition, I got annual number 3 and number 4. I mean, a good healthy chunk of it all at one time. You know, I'm digging it. I can't tell you how excited I was to get this, and I don't know why I was so excited, but it's Sheena 1 and 2. I actually squealed with glee with this. I'm not a big Sheena fan. I don't think I've ever seen the movie that this is based on. Uh, I don't know who actually does the artwork in it, even. Let's see here. Looks like it might be like Bob McLeod on inks. Let's see here. Carrie Burkett, writer. Grey Morrow artist. I love Grey Morrow. He's a really great artist. I thought like he's a really good artist. I think he's talking about the golden age. He's no longer with us, of course. But he had like a really good style, kind of like a very kind of like Gene Colan a little bit. Well, it looks like he did the inks too, so it wasn't he did pencils and inks on it. And same team for the second. Yep. But you know, it's get a chance to actually get that. I think like the reason why I was so excited when I got it, because it means like, okay, this is a complete set of this series in here. We have 2 of them. We could possibly have like even more complete sets in there. So that's why I was really excited about that. That is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Another one, Shogun Warriors. Again, I never got this when I was a kid, but I do remember the toys. I remember like they came out when I was a youngin, and I think the fist flew off. It's a little too expensive for me and my parents to buy it for me. So I never really seriously thought about that, but people around the neighborhood had it, so like I got to see it in action, and you know, I now I got 2 issues of the comic book series. Back to the New Universe, Spitfire, number 5, Spitfire, number 6, Spitfire, number 7, and Codename Spitfire, number 10. For some reason, they switched over at the end. I think they did a soft reboot or rework of it. I have a complete set of the Spitfire and the Troubleshooters, which is good, but I don't really consider like that the. Just checking to see if it's still green. I'm sorry, you have to see that. The Spitfire, I consider all one series, so I'm a little closer to getting a complete series for that, thanks to. Okay, next up is Star Brand. Another. I got the annual number 1. It's a little creased in the back, and also issue number 6. And I got the first 2 issues of Steel Grip Starkey. From Epic Comics, number 1, number 2. This is like another one that was like a little adult for me when I was a kid when it first came out. But I'm trying to pick up now. I think I have 1 or 2 other issues of it. Slowly building the complete set for that. So I got that going for me, which is nice. A Go Kid cover on The New Adventures of Superboy. Also had a classic kind of Superman. Let's see. It is from 1980. Next up, I'm trying to get into the Ultimate books. I'm doing a whole lot better with the Ultimate X-Men than I am with the Ultimate Spider-Man. But he had a couple of Ultimate Spider-Mans there, so I decided to pick it up. 99, 100, 101, 102, and 106. I have them all in trade paperbacks, so I've read the story, but now I'm trying to get the individual issues because I have a bunch of one Wizard World I got. They gave us out the 1/2 issue just for signing up to go to Wizard World. So I have a bunch of special variants on it. So I figure might as well. And next up is the Ultimate X-Men Healthy Chunk. It's chunky. Next up is no, I'll do that last word deserves to go. Ultimate X-Men 69. 60, oh no, I'm sorry, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 77. Ah, you thought I was going to say 76, weren't you? No. 78. There's a piece of tape on there. Okay. All right, well, I'll try to deal with that later. 79, 81, 84, 88, 89, 90. And next up, clearing out the lot and today's haul is X-Men, Divided We Stand #1. It's a 2-issue series. I have #2, I didn't have #1. I have #1 now, and now that's another complete set of today's thing. So yeah, I'm happy with what I got. Got quite a lot. But I got there when I did. There's still some good comics available, and that I was able to get them before they got scarfed up by Mr. Streetside Anthony. And yeah, see, that's a good thing I like about IA Comics, that they have a lot of good stuff in there. Like surprisingly good stuff. One time I got like a the later issues of Punisher to complete my set, and those are like $20-$30. And I found them there for the dollar bin. I told him about hey, I think my wife said this in the earlier haul video. Hey, you have these in here. These, I just want to let you know these are like that. And I'm like, that's fine. And you know what? You gotta love that. You gotta love somebody who's interested in putting a little bit of value into his back issues. So here we go. So that's it. Now begins the task of putting it into my database system and putting my list, my want lists, and whatnot. That's going to be probably a all day tomorrow thing. But I want to make sure I got this done before I tackle that. And for those of you who've been around for a while and made it all the way to this part of the video, thank you very much. I am going to now reward you with something you probably don't want, but you can get anyway. Site news, channel news. Just want to let you know that I'm trying to think of more content for this thing. I have a lot of things I'm working on. I have a lot of places I'm going. I have a lot of stuff in motion, wheels in motion, things churning, turning, and whatnot. Um, One of the things I did, I tried to send out a message to all the um, comic book companies that I could get access to. I went through like every website from A to Z, and if they had an easy way on their website to get in contact with them, I contact them and say like I want to be on like the press/review list. So you might have a whole lot more of like comic book news and reviews on this site. Um, Hopefully, we'll see if that. If you are a fan who works for a comic book company or knows somebody in a comic book company and would like to put in a good word, I already got news that one comic book company has already put me on their list, um, and it's a big one, and I'm very happy. Uh, you'll probably know which one it is if I start getting stuff like this. So I'm trying to like maybe mostly like news stuff like that. Like I'll try to do like news articles, and if they send me review copies, I'll try to do review copies. Um, if you want your comic book company involved in this, get in contact with me. I'll put like my contact information in the bottom of the uh, below this thing, just so you know. Also, want to let you know that on Tuesday there's another installment of um, my girlfriend's guide to comics. This one I talk about the ages: Golden Age, Silver Age, Atomic Age, Bronze Age, and the Copper Age, and what and all that kind of stuff. Um, Starting off with a too long didn't watch brief overview of what to keep in mind about what makes each age what, and then I go into more detail about my personal, because everybody has their own like idea of what makes the Silver Age and the Golden Age, and when it starts and when it ends and whatnot. So if you want to look at that, that'd be great. Keep in mind though, I was distracted by ducks, so I made a mistake in that. I said that Showcase number 4 came out in 1954, came out in 1956. Um, so by all means, the only way it could punish me, I think, like the only thing I could deserve this kind of punishment is like do something that I could never really want, like sending me gift cards to my comic shop or Midtown Comics, because that would be horrible. I'd be so upset, and I wouldn't be able to um, like sleep at night. Um, and then on Wednesday, you don't have to send me anything. I mean, that was a joke. On Wednesday, we were going to have another edition of um, Growing Up Comics. I'm trying to think what this one is. It's probably this might be the one where I talk about my the comic book that made me a collector, which is Avengers 227, I believe. Um, maybe not, but it might be something else. That might be delayed to another couple weeks. But nonetheless, be on the lookout for that if you're a fan of this site. Those are coming up, and I put a lot of work and effort into them, even though I did screw up one date and one. But I'd really appreciate you taking a look at that. Thank you for hanging out. And if you want to, if you like this video, like it, share it. If you have any questions, like comments down below, did I get a good haul? Do you like what I got? Did you not like what I got? Would you have done something differently? By all means, let me know. And yeah, until next time, keep collecting. And I gotta go read some ROM.